Hi. This is me from the future. So this is me like tomorrow is Friday of the week after this basically the clip that you're about to like listen to, or the section of time. And we made it out okay. I think I think this particular week was a lot easier than the last week, basically what you're listening to, because we had no basis of understanding like what we were going through at that time. Now we know things are quite settled. It feels like things are about to get settled. My work is going to be seems like I'm going to have work through the summer. And my wife had to take a bit of a pay cut and benefits cut, but she keeps her job for now. But so many other people aren't keeping their jobs, and a lot of people are having to do the either a temporary furlough, like they have to work every other day, or find a way to make their schedules work and take a pay cut, or take the 20% pay cut, or whatever. And that was sort of the fear that was kind of like washing over us this week, not necessarily knowing where we were going to be at the end of the week, not knowing what tomorrow was going to hold. We still don't really know. I mean, we're still kind of just generally stuck here. We don't know what's ultimately happening. But this week, this particular week, one piece of reading that I picked up, it was very short. I had a lot of work to do, teaching and whatnot. But I thought this piece written by Slavoj Žižek, titled "Is Barbarism with a Face Our Fate?" And it was really interesting. Like, I think I was thinking about, I maybe had read this a few days after some of the dreams I was having this particular week. And there was something that he wrote at the beginning of this, which I'm going to quote. "These days, I sometimes catch myself wishing to get the virus. In this way, at least the debilitating uncertainty would be over. A clear sign of how my anxiety is growing and how I relate to sleep. Till around about a week ago, I was eagerly waiting the evening. Finally, I can escape into sleep and forget about my fears of my daily life. Now it's almost the opposite. I'm afraid to fall asleep, since nightmares haunt me in my dreams and awaken me in panic. Nightmares about the reality that awaits me." He goes on to write, "I don't think the biggest threat is a regression to open barbarism, to a brutal survivalist violence with public disorders, panic lynchings, etc. Although with the possible collapse of the healthcare and some other public services, this is also quite possible. More than open barbarism, I fear barbarism with a human face. Ruthless survivalist measures enforced with regret and even sympathy, but legitimized by expert opinions. A careful observer easily noticed the change in tone and how those in power address us. They are not just trying to project calm and confidence. They also regularly utter dire predictions. The pandemic is likely to take about 2 years to run its course, and the virus will eventually infect 60 to 70% of the global population, with millions dead. In short, their true message is that we'll have to curtail the basic premise of our social ethics, the care of the old and the weak." He goes on to write into this and talking about that, where that writing, or that piece, kind of mirrored what my brother was talking to me in a conversation with one of his friends, who works as a sales representative for a major bodywork company. Basically, he's a sales rep that basically deals with these locations across the country, and they provide bodywork on automobiles. You think about every time a car wreck happens and how they're ultimately freaking out because there's nobody on the roads and no car wrecks and all that stuff. Capitalism breaks down, right? And my brother never really, like, it never really struck him that this person ever really panicked about anything. He always had money and whatnot. And that particular conversation, when he came home to work, it was like out of Margin Call, like the movie Margin Call with Kevin Spacey, where the end of the day where they're about to dump their positions and start the financial crisis, he's going and giving this heartfelt speech where he's basically sending the sales floor off to die and never work on the street again, but they're going to get a bonus if they sell all their crap positions, right? And it was that type of thing, like, well, some of you will be around for as long as we can have you around for, And maybe we have deep pockets that can keep some people around in some measure. But after this is all over, you really need to realize the extent of how bad this is going to happen and all the people that we're going to have to lay off, and have sympathy for the people who were laid off. And that was a conversation that I had with my brother the other night, or it was during the week of all of this, when we were waiting on our fates of figuring out like where we were going to be. And we're still not out of the woods. And I think what ended up like holding us on to a particular degree of stress was not knowing anything, not knowing the future, knowing our past was gone, our future is not in the air, and our present's basically just kind of stuck in this apartment, right? And the next little clips of pieces are ultimately a reflection of that space. I'll let you listen.
This is a vignette from the floor of Marco's room.
Mama, this one is so easy peasy.
Sí, tienes que pintarlo, mi rey. I guess we'll know next week.
Well, something new always happens, right? You just have to focus on your week and focus on what you can focus on and move forward.
Other states, veterans hospitals. It'll be very protective of our veterans. Some of them are of that very vulnerable age, and some of them obviously are not feeling well, and some of them are still suffering the wounds of war from many years ago.
Okay.
With like 1,000 beds or like 2,000 beds, depending on the city.
So dealing with the chaos that's ultimately going to be coming down as more people are trying to go and get testing, and nobody really knows where to get testing, or there's limited. They don't know. It's not that they know where to go. Maybe.
Well, he's saying clinics. I'm assuming it's because the hospitals are at capacity.
Yeah.
When you were a little girl,
So it's basically like a war,
Oh.
a war zone, like a work type of tent clinics.
Yeah.
Mama, when you were a little girl, did you go to the doctor?
Sí, mi rey.
Yeah. Doctors need our help right now.
Oh, doctors help you.
Yeah,
they're
they do,
community helpers.
but yeah, they're community helpers, but they.
I don't like getting shots.
I know.
Yeah, I know, but you have to get shots. Do you miss school?
Yeah,
Who do you miss at school?
some people a little bit.
Yeah. Do you miss
No.
Do you miss Miss Michelle?
I miss Elaine.
You miss Elaine? Hey Marco, you gonna clean the room?
I'm busy right now.
Okay, he's busy right now. Sweet pea.
Drawing Hulk smash.
Are you gonna Hulk smash me if I keep on bothering you? Oh, he's drawing Hulk smash. Look at you,
I'm gonna
buddy.
smash you when I'm 100. I'm gonna smash you. It will be so hard. Or otherwise, I will sit on you.
You're gonna sit on me when you're 100? I hope you do. And I hope I'm around to see that.
Hey, let's go make some lentils.
No, dude.
We need to make dinner.
No, let's do not make lentils. Let's draw.
Okay.
You can draw. We're gonna make lentils, okay? Okay?
Hey, dudes.
Happy Monday.
Happy. I don't know if this is a happy moment.
Like for Megatron, like it was just like this.
Oh, búscalo debajo de la cama.
It's not like here.
No sé dónde está, Marco. Entonces está encima de la cama. Don't stop.
How you feeling?
I'm tired. Last night I was trying to sleep.
I can't see it.
Abre tus ojos, mi rey.
I can't.
Llorando no lo vas a encontrar.
I can't.
Llorando no lo vas a encontrar, mi rey.
Hey, Marco. Marco.
Mueve las cosas que están en la cama. Last night I went to sleep, and just before I fell asleep, I was like noticing I was losing my breathing rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never think about my breathing, but last night like I was having to like find it. And then I thought like, well, maybe I'm just nervous. I'm just gonna put on some deep sleep music and try to fall asleep.
I can't find it.
It's okay. You can find it later.
I looked everywhere.
¿Vas a seguir llorando?
Can you
Dame mi teléfono. Entonces deja de llorar.
Mama, can you please help?
Ahorita no, mi rey.
What's that sound?
It's
So-
a tea kettle.
It's a tea kettle?
No.
Oh.
Oh, that's Marco.
Don't lie to me, Daddy.
Okay.
It's not fair to lie to anyone.
No. I shouldn't lie to anybody, but
No, you don't lie to anybody.
so anyways, I was trying to sleep. I fell asleep. I can't remember if I woke up in the middle of the night. I think I did, like, because I couldn't sleep continuously. But I was like checking myself, like, okay, am I breathing? Do I need extra breathing room to breathe? So I was like anxious, I think. Then I woke up and I was like still having the same trouble. So then I took a shower, and I usually take a shower with very hot water, but I think I couldn't have handled it if I had taken a shower with the hot water. So I took a shower with like tepid water, and I did it quickly. I didn't want to be like sort of like alone in the shower for much longer. And then took it very easy, and then I had to make some time to, I don't know, let it all out. But I like I needed to cry, but I couldn't cry. So I cried a little bit, but I think I still need to cry a little bit more. Like I need to let out the fear I have inside, because maybe that's what's causing me to be anxious, or like think that I'm losing my breath. So I've been trying to find time or the energy to do so, and I haven't been able to, and I don't know why.
Can you find the pink singer for me?
I will find him, mi rey. Yo lo encuentro, okay? So I feel very tired. I want a nap, but I can't nap because I'm focusing on like my breathing. But then at the same time, I also have like these chills that I get, like the hairs in my arms like stick up. So it's like chills. But I don't have a fever, and I've been checking my fever already twice, and I think it's 97 degrees Fahrenheit.
It was behind. It was next to my chair.
I told you. I think en español se dice escalofríos. So chills. But I feel just like tired, and it might have been because I didn't sleep well last night. I don't have as many work meetings today as I had last week, but I do have a meeting in about 10 minutes, and probably until 3 o'clock. And I told my colleagues that I will take it easy today, and I had 2 calls with them just to converse and just like let it out. And those meetings were really helpful because they distracted me, and we talked like friends. We didn't talk about anything work related, so it was helpful. but still, like, I don't feel the urge to, like, or I don't have the energy to get up. I try exercising. I did some squats, and that was nice. But it's like in waves.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to explain it, and it's very mild. Like, but again, it might be that I'm nervous.
You probably are nervous. I feel like I had a wave of nervousness hit me over the weekend, where it feels respiratory to me too. But I'm not presenting a fever. Like, I'll check my fever. I'll check your fever, and it's not. We don't have one. But it just kind of feels like something's not right. And that's like a general feeling that I have. It's like if it's allergies, I've never felt this before. Or to me, it's a little tight. Mm-hmm. It's like I can't get a full. I have to work really hard to get a full breath. I'm like breathing half breaths. And yeah. So
I also feel like I had like a stomach bug. Like, but again, like when I get nervous,
yeah.
I tend to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I've been to the bathroom like 5 times today.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I was thinking, like, whoa, I'd rather have diarrhea than short of breath. Like, I'll take diarrhea anytime.
I don't know.
Because, like, just the thought of losing my breath terrifies me.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I didn't have diarrhea. I just had a soft stool, but this is TMI, but I'm just sharing what I'm going through.
No, you should share what you're going through.
So it was funny because, I mean, I don't even like throwing up. Like, I freak out when I throw up, and Scott knows this.
You freak out when you throw up, and I freak out when you have a fever because your fevers are crazy.
My fevers are insane, but I don't know. I don't know if I take a visible illness over a breath illness.
A digestive versus a respiratory?
Or like a chicken pox. Like, I can see what's going on, as opposed to like breathing. Like, breathing is scary.
People are really afraid of what they can't see.
I might be one of those.
Yeah.
But I need to calm down. And I'm calm, but again, I think I need to cry a little bit later today.
Oh. Well, whenever you're done, take a shower.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been taking showers when I feel like I need to take a shower to reset. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go out anymore at all.
No.
Like, I'm not, like, even like walking PD is going to be difficult, but
Well, I got the pee pads from Amazon because
yeah, because
I think I was thinking ahead. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
you were getting Gatorade and like soups and all of that, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna get a pee pad for the dog.
yeah,
It's weird how we each think.
yeah. Messes with your structure and your cognitive planning.
I don't know.
Cognitive mapping.
It's just weird. And if I have this thing, I don't even know how people treat it. I even registered through Orlando Health this morning for something called a virtual meeting because I visited my primary care doctor's website, and it had a huge banner that said like call ahead or like do the virtual meeting. So I register, so I have it there, but my symptoms are not
there yet.
nothing compared to what other people might be going through, and that's also kind of annoying because like, oh yeah, they're only gonna see me when I'm dying.
Yeah. At what point in the process do we need to all get in the car and get tested? You know, that type of thing.
Right. And if the test takes a week, like, what do I do while I wait if I were to take it?
Yeah.
I'm watching the virus.
No. At this point, we have to assume that we have it to stay.
What did you say?
At this point, we have to assume that we have it and just stay.
But how do you treat it?
Bed rest and observation. Take it easy. Because every instance that you go out and you like it, if you feel like if you feel like you're not yourself or you're sick or you're kind of if you go out and you're weak, you're going to end up getting it. Or two, you have it and you're carrying it and you're going to give it to somebody else.
Oh, I have no energy or any intentions of going out.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
And then if I nap, like, what if I nap and then, I don't know, what if I don't wake up?
Yeah.
Those are the things that go through my head.
I know. I was like looking at the videos and stuff. Like I haven't run into anybody when I've happened to been out like doing whatever this weekend. Like I see people. I see like a handful of people. I see them like on the horizon doing their thing. So there's enough distance. But some of the videos that I saw of like people like doing dances in the street where they're like 20 feet away from one another, and it was like I'm not doing that. That seems a little too.
People are trying to remain
in.
sane.
Yeah. Just have your projects. If you don't, find some projects to work on.
Well, I have a meeting to attend at 1:00.
I got a class I got to do at 6, and I gotta prep a class and get it organized and
but I really
moderate it.
Like, what if I have it and you have it? Then is Marco gonna have it and we're all gonna be sick at the same time?
Well, we're all carrying it. We all have to assume that we have it.
But like, what if we're both equally ill? Who's gonna take care of Marco?
I don't know.
Or I have no idea what's going on.
Yep.
Or what will happen.
We don't even
And
have.
maybe that's what's going through my head. Maybe that's why I think I'm short of breath. It might all be psychological, psychosomatic.
Psychosomatic, whatever that is.
Which I'd rather be psychosomatic. I don't know. I'd rather be fake.
Well, take a sugar pill. Have a cookie. You'll feel all
A
right.
sugar pill. I had coffee. I had like 3 or 4 sips of my coffee cup, and I was like, oh no, this is gonna make me jittery. I don't need any more jittery.
Yeah. Well, we got herbal tea.
So I'm gonna have it right now.
Okay.
I gotta go to the other room to take a meeting.
Okay. Okay. Hi. It's Tuesday night, March 24th.
The year 2020.
That's what Marco says. It's the year 2020. March 24th, 2020. I'm cooking dinner. And I'm slowly simmering some lima beans or some butter beans. I can't wait, actually. I'm kind of like looking forward to the butter beans. They look really good. And I'm looking at the cabinet while I'm waiting. And it's like waiting for a pot to boil type of thing. And it's weird because I was kind of thinking about it last night. And I was taking a couple of photographs, and I was like listening through the second podcast episode of me kind of having a cognitive breakdown in terms of like what I was buying at the grocery store. And I'm looking up right now at kind of the relative disarray at the cabinets. I'm sure, what I think is kind of interesting in the photograph that I took was, and why I did it last night and kind of spur of the moment type of thing. I lit it just with a strobe, bounce the ceiling type of thing. Relatively easy. And it was more documenting how ridiculous cabinets are. And this is kind of a funny way to put it, because I grew up in the cabinet. My dad was a cabinet builder, and we had a cabinet shop, and we made a factory, and kind of
I think at the very least, the best that anybody could possibly do with it. And I don't know, talking to my dad this afternoon, who he's doing well. He's not infected or anything yet. And, it's like these things don't do anything other than to cover up on one level, they cover up your greed. But on another level, they hide your inefficiency. Like everybody loves to talk about how efficient they are and whatever else, but they're not, and I'm not. And I've got the stuff that my wife can't reach, and it's up higher, and you try to figure out how to get up high and how to manage like what's going to be up high versus what's going to be down low and gettable type of thing. And something that struck me was really kind of scary last night was I was looking at like looking at the nutritional facts, like the graphic design and the kind of the normalized data of like looking at, like the calorie count. And I was just sitting there thinking like, this is like sand in an hourglass. How long could this possibly go on for? And, it's like, I'm looking at my peanut butter, for instance, and it's like I got 190 calories of peanut butter. And, like 14 wait, hold on, I'm going to read it real quick. So I got about 14 servings per container, 2 tablespoons, serving size 190. So like 190 times 14 macro count. What was that? Like 200 times 14, we'll call it. 200 times 10 is 2,000. Like 3,200 calories off the top of my head. You start counting like 3,200 calories here, 5,000 calories there. The oil gives you filler. The lentils give you certain things. The butter beans give you certain things. So like, 100 calories, 1,300 calorie packs. You start thinking about it in terms of calories more than anything else. And geez, this is like this is like you can stay in, but how long can you ultimately stay in for type of thing? You end up kind of having a sand in the hourglass type of feel to this type of thing. And you start to realize how much of a long game it is. And how, you can go out and buy whatever you want to buy, but eventually it's going to be over with. And just all of that aspect of it seems futile. Like you're gonna buy your way into a better position, and it leads me to kind of think that this type of like barbarism that we ultimately are facing, as Zizek put it recently in an article or a piece of writing, that you look at all the graphic design and you look at all of the kind of the humanistic aspects of things, and all it is just some graphic designer that's about to get laid off. And none of it ultimately matters. It's just calories. It's just time. You're buying yourself time. Buying yourself some medicine that you can take. 2 pills for 8 hours. That might knock out the fever. Like 2,000 calories of Gatorade that might give you a day. And really it's about the time and the space that you can have with that time with the people around you. Or maybe you are like lucky enough to have the time with the people around you. But maybe you are remotely talking to people on FaceTime or Zoom or whatever else. And how this can ultimately all shift tomorrow. It's data. And that was something that kind of struck me about the photo last night that I was taking and thinking about it. And it was just like it tried to turn everything around. I opened all the cabinets to give a component of how disorganized, like in your brain, you think you're fine, but you just open your cabinets. You open your cabinets and everybody's cabinets are fucking disoriented. And you have order for maybe like a millisecond, but you really don't have order.
You don't have anything in terms of just the shit that you cram into it, and you're inefficiently using it. I'm going to get back to family and making butter beans and making sure. I have to check it for reference. Roughly 1,300 calories turns out to be the tastiest 1,300 calories ever. So I'm going to go back to that. It's Wednesday. I look fucking ridiculous. We have we have a like a lockdown, like we have a shelter in place scheduled for tomorrow, and we're gonna be. It's probably gonna be a 2-week shelter in place. I think that's what it is for Orange County, because there was something like a 3,000% increase in COVID-19 in the last couple of days that had been recorded. However, it's probably just due to the fact that people are actually starting to test, and those numbers are ultimately going up because of data, right? So I'm making a quick run to the grocery store. I'll spare you any of that trip. I'm not going into the grocery store. I'm just kind of calming down right now. I had a nightmare last night, and it was sort of like, ever since I've moved into this place, I've had nightmares off and on that are like, I wake up in the middle of the night and somebody's in the house and it's like a dark shadow over me type of thing. And it was sort of like I was last night in my like lucid state. It was like lucid dreaming. Like I felt like I was still awake. I focused on that figure, and then it was sort of just like a doctor that was like over me, like taking care of me, and I was sort of just kind of gasping, and I guess that was where my wife hit me in bed and was like, "You're having a nightmare, like wake up, wake up, wake up." And I ask her to wake me up whenever I'm like struggling breathing, because I have, I'll end up having, where you hold your breath in your sleep. I forget what you call that. Like when you get put on the spot to record, you lose your brain a little bit. So I'll feel like I'm stopped breathing. That's another nightmare that I'll have, where I'm just like, I'm trying to wake up and I can't breathe and I can't get air. And I know I'm dreaming and I know what's happening, and it's like the scariest thing ever, because it feels like it takes eternity to wake up. Anyway, so I was having one of those dreams, and it was weird, where it kind of felt like she was waking me up, but I was just kind of there, just kind of focusing on the person who was walking around the bed, like doing what they were doing to help out or whatever. And that was like a weird perspective to have for a dream. It was pretty bizarre, but it's not really bizarre. It's kind of the cycle of life type of thing, I'll get there. It's just a matter of time. So I'm gonna go to the store. It'll give it a chance to kind of warm the car up and get fluids running through the car, because 2 weeks on lockdown. I had a car issue in Houston where I couldn't drive, and that tore up the car more than anything, just not getting fluids in it and driving it around, Okay, I'm gonna head off to the grocery store. I forgot my wallet. I gotta go back upstairs for it. There's a helicopter circling overhead, and it's a news helicopter, and I was just like, well, what's that for? And it dawned on me that today is the day that the COVID-19 testing, drive-up testing facility is supposed to be starting to be staged at the convention center, and I think in the parking lot of the Rosen School of restaurant management, I think it's called, over at UCF. Like, we live on the one edge of Universal. And that's going to be something that I have to drive through. So, yeah. This isn't fun. You'd think having to go and get the groceries once a week would be, a release, but it's not. It's even worse to be out in public. This is like the only thing they ultimately kind of have to look forward to. And I'll turn on the car. Get the car kind of, it's already warmed up. Can't really see it, but there are helicopters everywhere. All of us are trying to put on a show. I don't know, this isn't really anything other than reference, and I want to share it, I don't know, it's kind of a good opportunity to kind of be able to kind of tell a story with data or with your current day. And I think what's really important about it is you start to gauge people's shifting emotions and opinions daily. It's faster, honestly. It's moving faster than what you think would be a quick medium, like being able to upload a podcast or something. Basically, the process would be putting it into Adobe Audition, but you have to listen through it to edit it, So, I mean, even though that these are kind of like these long form meandering things, I still have to go through all the clips and edit, and that takes a tremendous amount of time. Like, this is kind of my after, in the gaps, after work hobby. To keep sane, so to speak, and keep being able to think through things as I'm seeing them, because it's moving faster than what I can do. Yeah. You're going to be what will end up happening is this will be ready by the time a future that you don't expect is ultimately going to be in like a week or two. And God, that scares the shit out of me. I think that's the worst part of it. I don't even know till Friday. Like, I know I've got work lined up and a trusting staff, and it seems to be that we are I'll have work through the summer, but it's just things like my wife's work. Will she have work through the summer? You don't know. You're just like working at home with your child with you, and things are absolutely positively disrupted. And we're lucky to have our little space of where we are at the moment. However, do we have that in a week? Do we have that in 2 weeks? Like, just being able to have a little apartment is a luxury. Being able to have a little bit of food is a luxury. And those are the feelings that I'm feeling at the moment right now. The vibe that you ultimately have where everything is nice and cute and happy and graphic designy, but there's a degree of survival of the fittest going on in this mode, but it's happening in a very diplomatic and calm way. Like, the market is going to do whatever the market is going to do, and the general mood is you're going to feel bad for those people that lose out, and you could be next type of thing. There's a degree of gun to your head type of feeling to all of this. And again, what is it, middle week 2, so I'm really finding a lack of focus. I've got things I have to do, but I also need to wait on students' feedback too. So I need to have a meeting tonight before I can figure out what to do. But I was
trying to do tutorials today, and it's a 5-year-old in the house with 2 people working. It's pretty rough. It's kind of been feeling like a focus struggle, because I feel like what I have to do is I have to like dive into research and lock things into my head so I'm able to explain them in a very clear way, and I just can't do it right now. Not to mention you're having to fight the people below you and above you in terms of sound, and you just can't block out the sound, and I feel like that's something that's ultimately hard in all this. I contacted the apartment today over all of the kind of disgusting kind of stuff, like fluids and garbage and whatnot outside that's never really been good to bring people into during normal circumstances, like bringing somebody over for a dinner party or something. But yeah, no, right now it's like unacceptable. It's like absolutely unacceptable, and you see it all. You're just kind of like every little thing, especially around here right now, because there's elevated counts of cases and things, and we're highly densely packed, and we're supposed to be on a shelter in place. So I see everybody's car in the parking lot, so everybody who is living here is here, and they're probably getting restless at the same time. Not to mention, I don't know, just during the workday. I mean, my wife's she's on conference meetings reviewing things all the time. I don't know how I get any work done through all of this, because it's kind of like I need quiet time to be able to think. I might have to wake up early or stay up late in order to do work, but I don't want to, because feel like I'm spinning wheels and not doing anything during the day. It's like a battle between space and I don't know. I'm tired. Yesterday was worse. I feel a little bit better today. I ended up getting a workout in. Yesterday I felt like I had it. Like I felt awful. And I didn't get really anything done yesterday. I mean, I got some stuff done. I got some other things done in terms of personal projects and things, but I just didn't. Man, it was hard. The last 2 days have been ridiculously hard.
We'll touch base regardless. I think we should do that.
I don't know how to say. She's performing for her work right now.
Bye.
I don't know how to say. I am too. Anyway. One thing that I feel right now that I can't seem to shake in its allergy time. It's Thursday, March 25th? It's Thursday, March 26th. I'm working out like crazy. I'll try to, if I ever feel like my wind is weird or whatever else, but I've been feeling like my wind is weird regardless. And right now I just, like, you just deal with like intensities of like respiratory things. I have a fever. And I feel like I can kind of stave it off if I take showers. But it's fairly strange, and I don't know. I don't know if it's like psychosomatic or whatever you call it, but it's a strange thing. Like, I feel like it. I can get a deep breath. Like, I don't feel like I have like oxygen issues, but like there's just like a spot that's like I haven't felt before. It's like right, like in a spot in the chest, and it feels inside. And that's something that I feel recently has kind of happened.
don't know. Otherwise, got through Thursday, and I don't know, like, it's weird because you end up having these pressures, and you're going to, like, relieve your pressure at the end of the week, and it's going to be a cycle. And that's something that I feel like I'm going to have a 2 o'clock meeting tomorrow, and then, like, what happens, like, after 5 tomorrow, and then into the weekend, like when you're releasing all of this, and that's another feeling. Anyway, hold on.
Your body temperature is 95.8 degrees Fahrenheit.
My wife's laughing at me. Am I performing? Am I performing to get out of school? Yeah, get out of school. Like, Mom, Dad, I feel bad. I don't want to go to school today. It's like, fuck you, you're going. Like, I don't know. It's a weird feeling. It's a strange thing. I trust that thermometer. This thermometer will tell you if you have a fever. Like, you'll know you have a fever with this thermometer instantly. It might not tell you an accurate temperature, but it will tell you when something's up. Like, for instance, I had food today, and I was eating food. I was eating pasta with this thing today, and I was eating pasta today, and it was telling me I had 102 fever, and I was like, why do I have 102 fever? Like, am I sick? Do I got the thing? And then it was like, oh wait, I was eating pasta. I'm gonna have some water and like wait 5 minutes, and then it went back to like the normal temperature. So it might not tell you the accurate temperature, but I'm pretty sure it'll tell me if something is wrong. Let's do forehead. Hey, we got this with our health insurance money. It's like corporate healthcare got us.
Your body temperature is 96.1 degrees Fahrenheit.
See you tomorrow.
I don't know where we left the conversation last, but today is Friday,
It's Friday.
March 27.
Is it 27th? Ooh, it's about to be rent day. Oh, I wonder how that's going to go. Wonder how rent's going to go. Wonder how car notes are going to go. Wonder how student loans are going to go. But we survived this week. This week we survived.
It was a hard week.
It was a hard week.
Second week of quarantine.
Is this
Is it quarantine or quarantine?
Quarantine. It's quarantine.
Cuarentena en
Yeah.
español. Well, so far I still have a job, so
You took a pay cut.
I'd rather take a pay cut than to lose my job.
No.
And I'd rather have a job.
Yeah, that's true. That's the way of the world. It's
So that's
negotiation.
the good news, and that's what kept me going today because
Yeah, it means we're good for the next little bit.
exactly.
However, the way to think about whenever a pay cut happens in payroll, I'm telling you this because from company management standpoint, is you take a pay cut, it's like a loan, but you don't have paperwork for that loan. And that's all that I'm getting at. And then you can't do anything about it. That's the way it goes. But, I don't know. I can't help but to think about that thought today and how that's going across. Like, how many haircuts are people taking? Are workers taking haircuts?
Well, some people are just losing their jobs.
So that's a haircut. That's a scalp.
I read that Disney World is still paying their cast members. They promised to pay through April 8th.
Okay, that's good. For April 8th, that's like
But
a week.
yeah, what happens after April 8th?
That's one more pay period, roughly.
And that's just Disney, but that's because they have the cash flow for that.
Yeah.
But many other service workers are still jobless. I think the number is like 3.3 million people have filed for unemployment.
That's a big number.
I think like my dad was trying to get on the website the other day, and he kept getting kicked out of the website. And Anna for Florida, Anna Esquimani, was saying that
Is it this meme? What, the unemployment site?
yeah, she was sending a letter to the senator, or like to the governor, to please fix the website because no one can apply for unemployment because no one on the unemployment side of the
Just keeping it in.
whoever handles the website or managers or is the webmaster for the unemployment site
Yep.
is not working, so no one can fix the problem. That was like 2 days ago. I don't know if they fixed it.
Yeah. When you got your son, and then you got your doggy son in a little apartment.
In a window. I mean,
In a
he's
window,
saying hello
barking.
to his dog friends.
He's saying hi. He's saying hi to everybody. Yeah. You know, that's kind of a form of not having to pay somebody if your website doesn't work, to be able to, like, oh yeah, no, the unemployment's, unemployment benefits are available if you could just apply for it. No, no, sorry, the website doesn't work. There's no way to administrate it. Smart thinking. That's
But
smart. That's smart thinking right there.
In all of this chaos, I got a link to this site called Veg News,
Yeah.
in which they say that China has permanently banned consumption of wild animals.
Cool. So when are we going to stop factory farming in the United States?
Hopefully
Oh
soon.
no, we might get pulled for that little piece of content right there. Might have to cut that one out. Anyway, whatever.
Don't put that.
Well, you're bringing up like, oh, dude, it's all China's fault because they eat bats.
I'm not publishing this.
I mean, we're just talking.
No.
The whole point is you be open conversationally, and then you grab what you need to grab.
Yeah, but you don't make fun of things.
Yeah, it was the openness that I have been.
I don't think so.
Okay. Anyway.
Good
Friday-
luck editing this.
Oh yeah, no, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. I edited all my coughs out in the grocery store run, because I thought in my head, well, I coughed like maybe 7 times in 37 minutes, and I was like, no. Well, if people hear me coughing, they're like, why are you at the grocery store? So I edited it out.
Well, I have
It's
a plan.
really
I have a
it's
plan in
really
my head.
easy to edit shit out in Audition.
Good.
It's
So
okay.
can I continue eating my chips?
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. If you have a story about,
I hope you cut all of this.
okay,
I'm hoping to put out my sewing machine out this weekend and sew some masks.
yes, sew some masks, because I'm the only one going to the grocery store, and it freaks me out every time I go to the grocery store without a mask. And I'll tell you why. I wear gloves at the grocery store, and I make sure that if I touch it, I buy it. It's sort of like you're playing checkers or chess. Like you pick the thing up, like you own it. It's yours. You're buying it one way or another. So you're like,
It's like if you open it at the store, it's yours type of thing.
yeah, you touch it, you get it, right? Like
Yeah.
you get whatever you touch. Like even if it was like you touched 2 by mistake, you get 2 type of thing. Like I can handle that aspect of it with the gloves, but what I can't handle is, and I see it in other feeds, I see it in other parts of the country where people are more respectful with their spacing or whatever. Like in Houston, for instance, I saw Facebook today where it's like they had 6 foot spacing at the grocery store in Houston, and I thought that was like, okay, good, they're figuring that out. However, at our grocery store that's like right around the corner from here, and we only go 1 day a week, every time I go in there, it's like, yeah, you're totally around people like, oh, this is all fake. And and it's usually like young people that are still around partying or whatever. Like I've noticed that it's like you have people that are like tourists that are still around, and and we happen to be at the tourist spot around on Universal or whatever, and you still see that stuff, and I'm just like, I just want to get in there, get the groceries, and get out. But then you have people that are not giving you space, so you'll be like stuck in the middle of the aisle, like, and then they'll be like, you'll look way down the aisle, and then there's a person coming up, and then you're trapped, and then there's another person that's just running on by, and you're just like, oh, fuck, you know? And it's hard. At the end of it, like, I just would feel better having a mask. At the very least, I know it's not going to do anything other than just be a barrier to my face for 5 minutes, and that's all I need.
Hey, if it helps you, if it calms you and gives you peace.
Yeah, because
Sure.
I've had a sore throat, like, for the last couple of weeks. I know it's probably allergies.
You always have a sore throat.
No, I don't. That's not true.
I mean, you always cough.
No, I don't always cough.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You have suffered from chronic coughing since Marco, or since before Marco was born.
Yeah, I know, and it went away, but it comes back whenever there's allergies and stuff, and right now there's a little pollen, and I know that. Are we fighting? We got good dialogue going right now? We got some action
You're fighting
happening?
with yourself.
I'm not fighting with anybody. Make me a mask. I'm going to the
I'll
grocery
think
store.
about it.
I'm going to the grocery store for you.
I'll think about it.
Now we need Marco to come and be like, guys, stop fighting. We're family.
Hey, PD's barking.
I know. I can't help that. He's barking. He's talking to us.
Can
At
I
the end of
cut-
the day, we've
can
been
we
like,
cut for a second.
yeah, we can cut. I'm just going to stop recording.
Marco.
This is a good manager right here. Instead of actually getting up and doing something about it, she's getting Marco to go do it for her. And she does the same thing with me, too.
Marco.
Fuck it. I'll go do it. Pause.